To our global CTKS family, we're grateful that you're here. All of us together make this one of the best communities on YouTube. Here, we use the world's leading indicator of price, the CTKS method, to give us X-ray vision across stocks, cryptos, forex, commodities, and yields. So we can see what the top 1% in financial markets see before the move happens. That's a license to print money and a way to stay safe. Whilst others are panicked, we are calm. When others guess, we stack probabilities. We don't fall for hype or stories, we profit from reality. We know making just 3.5% per week is a 498% profit per year. We are the elite 1% in financial markets. Price moves in waves, so no matter if price is going up or down, please be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be dedicated and committed, and never blame. Instead, learn and grow into the best version of yourself. Let's see what the markets are doing today. Unfortunately, as an investor and trader, it takes a very long time to learn that managing your downside risk is the single most important thing that you can ever do. We naturally expect, if we're going long, that we buy something like Bitcoin and it will just go up into the stars. And it will do so forever without any pullbacks whatsoever. Now, the top 1% thinks incredibly differently. They manage initially their downside risk. They have to have some concept where price can go. Now, this red line may look like a path that's been drawn to the current price, but it actually is not. These paths are drawn at the start of the month and they are structurally based. They predict three paths: a positive price path, a neutral or consolidation price path, and a negative price path. This is done in Level 2 standard certification. The key to drawing these paths is to observe what the structure is, mark up the structure with Level 1 and Level 2 standard certification, and then draw in your paths. As the price prints, what we see is how the actual price interacts with structure, either positive structure, neutral structure, or negative structure. We are always looking for structural interactions. When we zoom out a little bit, you can see how Bitcoin has been obeying its structure on the way down. And actually, the target in this month's service video was $80,423 for the negative normalized price path. Now, the one thing that we knew in this particular month, we were losing structure and we had a lot of structural overhead. Having the capacity to look at any specific price chart, it could be Bitcoin, it could be gold, it could be Tesla, it could be Nvidia. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a price chart, you can apply the CTKS method to it, the standards. With the knowledge of Level 1 and Level 2 standard certification, you can draw your own paths in. And if we look at BNB, BNB has been following the normalized negative price path down this month. If we look across at Nvidia, we can see the normalized negative price path, the structure, has been holding Nvidia. You will find that when you understand structure, it's an absolute game changer in managing your risk. Now, what I've just showed you is a forward projection for the month that obeys Rule 268. CTKS structure determines price waves. Those wavy up and down lines are called CTKS paths. That's the risk management part of Level 1 and Level 2 standard certification. Level 1 gives you the foundation of institutional grade structural levels. And inside Level 2, that's where all the magic happens. And it's Lesson 22 where you learn how to draw the paths. Now, the critical thing to understand, Level 1 and Level 2 give you the capability to mark the charts up, and then you do your monthly structural model through the paths. It's very important as part of the system that you do your paths across every single component of the cheat sheet. If you don't have the time to apply Level 1 and Level 2 and to mark up all of the paths for each of the 32 charts here, you can subscribe to the service and I'll do it for you. But the critical thing, to manage risk, you have to have some kind of concept where price can go during the month, just as an absolute base minimum. You can also do the CTKS code each and every day to see how synchronized in with the market you are. Remember, to maximize synchronization, you want to focus on structure. For example, if we look at Bitcoin, BNB, and also Nvidia's path, they've all gone on to the negative price path. That is, a lot of sell pressure has been inside the markets, but structure has caught it. Creating the paths that I showed you would be incredibly difficult if you were just trying to use a moving average or something like that. The focus is always focus on the negative side first. So if you're going long at spot, you want to make sure that you're accounting for if things go against you. The reason that most people are not synchronized is that they think that the market is there to reward them. It's there to reward your knowledge, not your impatience and not your emotion. The knowledge of structure is what is rewarded inside financial markets. When you think from this perspective, you think first, how can price move against me? You're actually doing your risk management, and this is to avoid you becoming a statistic. We know that only knowledge creates profit. When you observe price history and price action, what you're seeing is where the gaps exist. So these gaps between structural levels, these dotted lines are called CTKS levels or SLs, Stanfield levels. If you have a gap between them, and we had price with Bitcoin, which was above a lot of structure, and then we had a lot of gaps. That's why we anticipated that there could be negative price momentum. The markets will always reveal their reality. All we need to do is to respond and to react to what happens in actuality, in reality, but not stories. Stories will keep you trapped in a losing position. When it comes to understanding CTKS levels, this is a really rapid understanding guide. Stronger, thicker, and more clustered. This is what you want to see. Where the levels are more structured, you're going to get more and more, if the price is coming up, more and more sellers. So these are not brick walls. They're gravitational areas, and you can see that sell pressure is always on. As is also buying pressure. When you have a lot of structure and you have a positive CTKS gap, that can turn into an explosive rally. When you're above one of these CTKS gaps, that's called a negative CTKS gap, and that has risk to the downside. You can see that the structural models for Bitcoin, for Binance Coin, for Nvidia, and so many different charts inside the service, they are very powerful at estimating where price can go. And we've seen this over months and months and months. One thing that you want to keep in mind, the initial focus is always the same. It's on the daily structural model. And you can see how the monthly structural model through level 2 standard certification is actually drawn because of all of these structural areas. And then you can create a long view forecast model for whatever chart you're interested in. And please let me know in the comments, what are your most favorite charts? The cheat sheet is our definite secret weapon. The cheat sheet explains why price moves between structural levels. It gives us a concept on momentum and direction. The cheat sheet is available absolutely free of charge by visiting ctksmethod.org on the homepage. Now all you need to do is to just scroll down to your cheat sheet to Mastering Price Action. You can get it free, you can download it there. And also there's some helpful videos and also the official ticker list for the service. With CTKS structure, we know already where the price levels can go, so therefore we must understand direction and momentum. Row 1 and row 2 give us the most incredible information on where the markets are actually heading. If the VIX is spiking up, we will see negative price momentum throughout row 3, row 4, which is the stock market, and row 5, 6, and 7, which is the crypto market. If the yields, the 10-year and the 2-year are strengthening, we would anticipate negative price momentum on gold and silver, the commodities. What you will find is all these charts are intercorrelated and interconnected. It's very important that you understand what each chart does and how to understand where it's topping out and where it's bottoming out as well. For the students of the Profiting Masterclass, it's really important that you regularly revisit week 2, understanding how to predict the tops and bottoms on the VIX and the DXY, on oil, euro, Aussie, gold, silver, copper, Bitcoin, and the cryptos, and of course the major market indexes. Is money in your pocket? Also, revisiting week 1 is a very good idea. In order to be consistently profitable, there are a number of barriers that you need to overcome. One thing is to manage your downside risk. Don't let your losses get too far out of hand. And for the Profiting Masterclass students, I do in-depth explanations of that. Hopefully, what you can see is this is a full risk management system. To do the cheat sheet daily, we're looking for direction and momentum. Is it coming up? Is it going down? Is it coming down hard? Is it going up hard? Is it consolidating? These are the questions that you want to answer by looking at the cheat sheet. Now, when you do that, you want to understand all of the cheat sheet components and then go into the daily structural models. And also keep your eye on the monthly structure. When managing your risk, for example, if you're inside the crypto market and looking at Bitcoin, we're currently 89,106 at the recording of this video. We can still see that we are on the negative price path. We're looking for structural interactions now. The hope is that we leave the negative price path and start to move towards consolidation. But unfortunately, the path is negative until proven otherwise. That's why looking through week 2 is vitally important. Financial markets are always moving in a wave. You can see that they come down and they go up and they wave all over the place. The only up or only down scenario is very amateur. Now zooming into that lower price level, now we can see that we're currently around 89,000, but where is the structure? Because you know that the structural paths, they work. Structure is how price moves. And you can see back here on the 17th, when we broke through the 93,000, we immediately targeted this 86,900 level. And if we overshot that with an SO, and we were likely to do that, an SO is a structural overshoot, we were likely to come down into this lower area, 82,700 or even lower, the 81,000. And that's unfortunately what we did. Now, I called this out around the 16th, and I said to everybody inside our community, be very careful, because what could happen, we could end up right the way down here very, very quickly, and the entire crypto market will go into a fully blown panic, but it's simply structure. If you remember me saying that, please drop a comment, because these things that I share, they're very important. I know that every single person has a different way to trade and invest, so I seek not to override your natural focus and your natural process, but it's really important to be aware of how structure causes price waves. Now, what are we looking at here? Currently, Bitcoin is seeking to get above this structural level, and it's done so. Now, that immediately targets the 93,000. Now, a lot of people will just simply assume that Bitcoin cannot make it because it's been so very, very negative. Don't forget, price is always moving in a wave. If we come back and retest around that 87,600 level, that's really good stuff. And we get a positive momentum, that opens up the 93,000. But we always think about our downside risk first. If we lose this particular level, so anything trading below 86,800 immediately opens up the 82,700. You have very hardcore targets that you can put into the market. This is the ultimate risk management. Here, we're looking at it at literally on a daily basis, but we can use all of this to inform the monthly decisions and actually monthly targets when you've done level 1 and level 2. Inside the Profiting Masterclass, there's a complete strategy to look at the crypto market. Most people don't understand how the crypto market actually works, how Bitcoin influences the alts, what the rules are, what the laws are inside crypto. So we need to look at Bitcoin and total crypto market cap. We know that Bitcoin is coming up. Here we're looking on a 15-minute basis. So if I throw the structural indicator level on that's shared inside the service, what we notice is above that 3.03 trillion, there's some selling levels coming into play here. Now we've had a very, very good pickup in terms of the price across the entire crypto market. We've had a bit of a confirmation of this 3 trillion. Now we are structurally targeting this $3.035 trillion level now, but just be aware, if this structure starts to weaken, and it's looking a little bit like it might, it could easily come back to the 3 trillion. If we fail there, the 2.97 trillion opens up, there's an actual structural level here. We read this to the right. So we look at price and we say the structural target at the current time is around this $3.04 trillion. And if we lose the 3 trillion, the structural target there is 2.97. Now you may look at this and say, Ken, I don't really care because I can't actually trade the entire crypto market. I can only trade BNB or Solana or XRP or Bitcoin or ETH. The issue is, if total is coming down like this, well, if it's going up like this, BNB, Solana, XRP, Doge, ADA, ETH, they're all going up. Of course, Bitcoin, they're all coming up. Now, if it waves down, all of the market will retrace. You're literally looking at the entire crypto market. So just understanding how the market works is a huge part of your risk management. Before, we were looking at BNB. Now, BNB is very important to track. It's the world's largest crypto exchange. So when there's optimism, people come into the market and bid BNB up. When there's pessimism, they sell BNB because they say, oh, I'm not buying anything, I don't want my discounts, or activity on BNB related chains decreases, leading to sell pressure. Now we can see that BNB is currently $870.40. This is on a daily basis, and you can see how the negative CTKS path has just done wonders for predicting or helping you with your risk management. We looked before at total crypto market cap. Now we're going into BNB on the same time frame. The 15-minute is a good entry and exit time frame. It helps you to understand, is price strengthening, price weakening? It gives you a lot of advance warning. So we can see that BNB is just pulling back at the current time. This is nothing other than a natural reaction of price. But let's pop on the indicator from the service so that we can do some analysis on where all the sellers exist. So around that 875, there's a lot of sell pressure on BNB. Around the 867 is an area of structural support. So because we failed here, we've immediately done a structural target on the 867. If we fail on 867, we open up the 863. If we fail on that, we open up the structural target around the 850. You can see how structural targeting is incredibly valuable. No more guessing, you know. Now something interesting happens when we've done a big leg up. Price tends to get a little bit tired and needs to consolidate. Often what we find, if we go into very heavy structural levels and we got some more up there, price could just easily consolidate, but it largely depends on what Bitcoin and total do. Hopefully you're listening to the CTKS songs that talk about green fire. Green fire is wonderful to look at and very nasty when it burns you. And the song CTKS Structure will really help you out. I remember that when I was in school, I had a song for learning the ABCs, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that song. So I thought, hey, why don't we create songs to help people learn structure and learn about financial markets? If you would like to see those songs, just type @CTKS Method on YouTube and press search. You'll come into the CTKS Positive Mindset tunes and you can go into the playlist. Having your mind set that you don't self-sabotage is incredibly important. A lot of people have never thought to do a song on trading. If you're listening to these songs, you're one of the first. Again, you're the top 1%. And there's also some videos here. If you just hit the videos, you can see these particular videos in there. They are all absolutely baked in wisdom. And in fact, I've got one I really want to share with you now.
In the heartbeat of the market, there's a secret code. Lines of power, zones of strength, it's the path we know.
We draw the Stanford levels, see the clusters form, thicker lines, strongest signs, where the smart money storms, gaps reveal the story of the orders in between, excess volatility, where the biggest moves convene.
When the candles find their places and the structure shows its face, we're not guessing or chasing, we're aligned with every trace. CTKS structure, guiding where to go, smart money's architecture, in every ebb and flow. Layers of liquidity in every zone we find. CTKS structure, the blueprint of the market's mind.
Topside lines hold the sells, bottom side holds the buys, cluster strength reveals the depth where the order book compels. Stanfield zones accumulate, the heat is in the emotion, the more they come together, the louder prices commotion.
CTKS structure, guiding where to go, smart money's architecture, in every ebb and flow. Levels of liquidity in every level we find. CTKS structure, the blueprint of the market's mind.
From gap to cluster, we construct profits map, predicting where the market spikes will clap. Structure fuels our vision, turns chaos into science. We buy and sell with X-ray vision. That's our mission.
CTKS structure, guiding where to go, smart money's architecture, in every ebb and flow. Levels of liquidity in every level we find. CTKS structure, the blueprint of the market's mind.
In every chart we master, in every trend we see, we know intercorrelation, interconnection to assess direction, momentum, and smart money's flight. We make decisions based on structure, without emotion, the master. CTKS structure leads us to mastery.
If you found a new knowledge gem or learnt something new, please share it in the comments. We are a community of abundance, not scarcity. If you're new, we would love for you to become part of our global family. All you need to do is smash like, subscribe, press the notification bell, and comment on what time it is now. Doing this shows that you are committed to forging a better life for yourself and the ones that you love. With financial literacy, you can become recession-proof. Trading and investing are lifelong professions. Tourists visit during bull markets only to get wiped out, but professionals stay no matter the market conditions because they know that making just 3% per week is a 365% return per year. We are the elite 1% in financial markets. You will create security and financial freedom in direct proportion to your willingness to learn and grow, and never blame. If you commit, your world will improve immediately. If you're going through a life pullback, our love and healing thoughts are with you. The sun will come out again. There is always hope. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Show gratitude and happiness, and you'll already feel richer today, and today is all we ever really have. Kate and I very much look forward to joining you again in the next video.